Hey guys, it's Childish and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be following up from our recent RTA video featuring our newest team that got us all the way up into C3 ranks. As you guys can see, we have dropped tremendously. And why is that? Because we tried to do one of the things that we wanted to in that previous video, changing our Xing from a kind of annoying tanky build to a damage build. And of course, I'm going to talk about the flaws of that. But before we get into that, though, thank you guys so much for your support. And thank you guys for clicking on this video. If you guys want to see more RTA videos down the road, y'all know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And of course, hit the notification bell so you guys know when the next video drops. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll leave some links up there to kind of showcase those first videos. But simply put, we got tired of just bringing in the TOA team for a long time. So we tried a team that is fast, that is tanky, and that just can be absolutely annoying when it comes to counterattacks. The core team is comprised of Chandra on the Swift set. We have Ophelia on that Violent set, and then we got Xing that was originally on a Violent set with a lot of damage. I don't think I have the unit out here I was going to show. Oh yeah, Ziana. Basically, the stats were similar to this right here because I was using her stats here, but her runes here, but that was essentially the core. And then the last pick, the one that kind of threw him off guard, was the fast Alice to provide mitigation if they decided to take my my actual raw like support, heals. And then we brought in a wide variety of units to do damage, to do strips, to do quite a bit here, from the Miles to the Bayek to, we've had Kinky in there, even sometimes Suiki that can kind of stay alive and self-sustain. There was a handful of units that we threw in there, some pocket picks that made them ban them so we can have our main core 4 team. So it worked out pretty good for a while, but then ultimately I ran into a couple of issues. The first issue was the turn 1 teams that underestimated the speed of Alice. That was, we were able to get a jump on that, but all the teams that saw what I was trying to do and was looking to go turn 2, they brought in plenty of Oblivion, plenty of, heals, plenty of CC. They brought in all the things that would kind of counter my team, right? As well as, regardless of the fact that I can provide support with the heals and provide the mitigation to take, literally 1 damage while they waste their turns here. The one thing that I do not have is that, immunity, that cleanse. I run into the issue of just getting controlled and just giving them an opportunity to, bring in a unit that has a defense break. And then when I'm vulnerable like that, I get taken out. So naturally, I thought to myself, well, if I'm not going to be able to, make it through that, and I'm still getting a few different, counterattacks between, Chandra and Xing, what can I do to increase my DPS while using a bruiser team? And the goal was to play around with a 200 damage, crit damage 1, and see what I could do. See if I can find some artifacts that either have, high attack, high speed, or high counterattack damage, or some kind of artifacts that provided additional, crit damage or whatever like that, based on their HP levels. There was a lot of things that I tried. We kind of left it at this right now, but ultimately, the counterattacks did provide a little bit of damage. But again, it just never was enough because these these teams had sustain, and while my team is was working pretty good, versus a lot of the turn 1 comps that came at me, turn 2 comps that have heals, they're not really worried about a unit like Xing to do a massive hit and then be able to follow through after that. But that being said, though, fam, I did want to show you guys kind of a typical match of what the issue was, what it kind of looked when I ran into these teams. And then, like I said, we'll probably go ahead and finish off the video and, like I said, consider some different builds or different things of the road. But I do want to try to throw the air for the people that have been following this. If you guys have any ideas of stuff that you might want to try, or things that you think it might work when it comes to that core team of the Ophelia, Chandra, and Xing, let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, hit me up on Discord if you have my Discord. The link is always in the description down below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show the match. So here we are, leading off again with our standard setup. Chandra's in there. We bring in the Ophelia, we bring in the Xing. They brought in a couple of units to provide passes, so I'm like, okay, let me go with the Desarian and bring in that Alice to kind of protect here. So naturally, I'm feeling really good right now because, again, they have really no speed outside of the Rio there. So once the mitigation is in and we get that first turn, there's really not much they can do. Now, this is an interesting spot because not only do they have, judo to provide a little bit of heals if we counterattack like we did right there. But they just have very very tanky units that are just going to be kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. And on top of that, this is something that I ran into quite a bit where, my style of trying to focus them to target one unit is they decided to take that and, redirect me to, whatever unit they want. Right. And, if it wasn't a unit like Minato, it was a unit like Shizuka that they left in there and just took advantage, of the skills or the beneficial effects that I provided from the affiliate and whatnot here. So it was kind of weird because, like I said, we ran into a handful of setups here that were just very, very, very rough to deal with here. And then in addition to that, regardless if I can get a nice crit or whatnot here, if I had no other units to kind of follow it through, I still ran into a lot of, issues here. So as you guys can see, luckily for us, they kind of fell for the trap. They left the Alice in there, and regardless of what they do, they're just kind of stuck in the mix here. However, a unit like Juno, if she stripped that invulnerability, affiliate would have been out of there, and we would have been a little bit more trouble here. Now, mind you, again, obviously my intention is to take away their biggest threat, and the biggest threat's Minato, but you can see right now Minato's just being annoying. Oh, that's right, that's the big hit right there, 32k. Minato's being annoying, making us focus it down, and luckily for us, like I said, Alice was in there. But normally it would be a little bit harder to deal with. And like I said, I think we would have if the Minato wasn't in there, there'd be some other unit again that's gonna counteract something that I got, whether it's the Oblivion that they use, whether it's some kind of CC that they use. But simply put, this was a typical match if they allowed me to get these main four through. And again, if they brought in some kind of Bruiser-esque team that had a lot of beneficial effects, then a unit like Miles that could strip, or Firebag that could strip, would be in there instead of the Saw in here. So I can kind of, like I said, open up the playing field, kind of lock them down with some counterattack stuns or whatever. But again, remember that it is more of a reactive setup versus a proactive setup. And while the counterattacks and the annoyance is good, I don't think this team can be done. I really thought that this, like a team like this with a player that's in the higher ranks that actually has really, really, really good runes that can get everything on a violent set with that kind of crit damage, I thought it'd be kind of good because again, it's free damage coming in from Xing from Chandra. Chandra's always going to crit, and Xing with 100% crits generally going to crit. I thought it would be working really good. So I think what I want to try to do now is I want to probably go back to the TOA team. But one thing I'm going to try now is that same concept of trying to get some additional damage, not by the likes of Xing, because of course I'm talking about the CC team that we're using, right? The Taboe, the Layla, the Hegang, plus two cleaving units here. But I want to play around with a different build on Tomoe, providing myself some crit damage, right? I think that could be a good play here. And again, while we're gonna have to figure out what we can do to get her stats up, because she's a unit that has to if we're gonna take advantage of the crit damage, we have to have some critical rate on it to make it work, right? But simply put, this unit on a violent set is absolutely disgusting. The way how her skill 2 cycles into skill 3, you get the right violent perk or whatnot, she kind of reminds me of a CR, right? With the built-in additional churn or whatever. It can get nasty real quick. So I'm looking to play around with that. Again, if you guys have any ideas, feel free to leave a comment section, comment in the comment section down below. But until that time, guys, thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.